Let's talk about bolstering Web3 security. I don't know how many of you guys are devs here, but I'm sure all of you guys are building in Web3. So the way we look at Web3 is that it is money Legos, right? We have figured out DeFi where each piece adds to a new piece. We figured out restaking. Now restaking has given birth to a bunch of different protocols. So what keeps this as money Legos is the security part that comes in between. If there is no security, this just becomes Jenga. It just becomes money Jenga. You pull out one piece, the whole thing comes crashing down. So which is why Web3 security is something that is to be taken very seriously in today's environment now that we are running into trillions of dollars of market cap. So today I thought because of that, we will have a small discussion about how to stay safe within Web3 and how to ensure that your smart contracts are safe from day one till whenever you are upgrading it. If we take a look at the yearly smart contract deployments, we can see that we are on a rocket ship to the moon, right? So in 2020, we were at 16 million, and today we are at 1 billion plus smart contracts, and this is a bunch of smart contract data that I could pull from Dune. I'm sure across all the other chains, there are way more smart contracts deployed today. But if we also take a look at what has been happening, the growth in the space hasn't really correlated with the security. In 2020, we lost 500 million. In 2022, that went up 8 times, right? So when you involve large amount of money, and the money is in the code, and if the code is hackable, there will always be incentive to hack the code. So if we take a look at why these things are happening, what we can see is that out of the 1 billion smart contracts that has been deployed, I can tell you we did 1,000 plus. Maybe the bunch of other security companies out there, they've done maybe 10,000, 20,000 in total, or maybe, let's say, even 100,000. 95% of the smart contracts are not audited. And almost all smart contracts are not monitored. Now, why is this bottleneck present? Why is that things are not getting audited, right? The number of security researchers available, that is less. The scalability of it, that is questionable. There is high cost associated with things because of the lack of skilled security researchers and the scalability issues. And tool set barriers. We don't have enough number of tools which helps the scalability issue within the security. And training and awareness, it's again one of the issue that we have. We don't have enough new people coming into Web3 security to match the demand that is there today. So if we take a look at how smart contracts or when in a Web3 business, how things goes, first somebody comes up with an idea. That idea becomes a business logic. And from that business logic, you move it into smart contract code. So this is the first stage. This is the development phase. Now, how to stay safe while you are building your smart contract? Unless you are building something groundbreaking, always use community-vetted libraries. Unless most of the applications that we see across new L2s, new L1s that are launching is the same AMMs, the same lending and borrowing protocols. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you need to use community-vetted libraries and try using as much AI-generated, pre-vetted code as possible while you're converting your business logic into smart contract code. Now, you've written some code. What happens after that? This code might have some basic vulnerabilities that AI-based audits will be able to catch. There is some static analysis, dynamic analysis that you could do on it, after which you are kind of assured that there are no basic vulnerabilities present in your smart contract code, things that we already know of, right? Reentrancy attacks, your arithmetic underflow overflows. These kind of attacks will no longer be present if you clear all your smart contract code with AI-based audits. Now, in your pre-deployment phase, you might have some crazy business logic inside your application for it to function the way it should function. So get manual audits. That is, I can't stress on this enough. AI-based audits at today's capabilities do not cover business logic or certain hidden vulnerabilities that might be present. So during the pre-deployment phase, always ensure that you're doing manual audits so that you move from smart contract code, which has no basic vulnerabilities, to basically smart contract code that has no vulnerabilities. And always get multiple audits done, because one set of auditors might not have seen something that others said. More eyes on the table are always better for things. Now, you have launched the mainnet, then what, right? This is where most of the projects lack today. Everybody, since it's a practice for your project's tokens to get listed on an exchange, everybody ensures that you're getting one manual audit these days. But post-deployment, nobody is really monitoring what is going on. Now, how to do that, right? There are applications which allows you to monitor your smart contracts, which will ensure that some state variables which are present inside your contract, some functions that are present inside your contract, these things, there is always a on-chain monitoring happening, and when it falls below a certain threshold, certain values, you can set it up in a way that, let's say, if it's a staking contract and your most important variable is your balance, if the balance is falling below a certain threshold in a certain time stamp, in a certain time period, then there are two things that you could do. Set up alerts so that your devs go into a war room and figure out what is going on, and set up incident response, which is circuit breakers. If you set up circuit breakers, what happens is, after that point, all the transactions will stop, and you can go figure out what is happening, and only after that, once you figure out what is the issue, you can get another audit done on the fixes, maybe inform your community about what is going on, and then re-establish connection with an upgrade your contract and get it live up and running again. So smart contract, monitoring smart contracts also will allow you to stop your contract from interacting with sanctioned addresses if they are required. So all kinds of suspicious transactions will be monitored and will be alerted. So a bunch of times what we have observed is that a lot of the sanctioned, it is from the sanctioned wallets where these attacks come from or gets funded from, if you take a look at the forensics of the attacks. So our suggestion is set up monitoring for all your major smart contracts where all your balances are being held at least. Now, how do you do all this, right? We have a solution, of course. So during the development phase, you can utilize our AI-driven recommendations with the static analysis and dynamic analysis to prevent common vulnerabilities using Quill Shield. So once your development phase is completed, you can reach out to Quill Audits, our mother brand, who will do the manual audits for you. And post-deployment phase, you have to enable on-chain monitoring and set up incident response, both of which are coming up soon in Quill Shield. And there are other people in the market providing the same services. You guys should check it out if you can't wait till then. By Q4 of 2024, we will be ready with Quill Shield's post-deployment security solutions as well. So I hope you all learned something about how to stay safe with your smart contracts across its life cycle. Thank you.